comic book business is a billion-dollar industry, so whether you just like to read them or you want to invest, we've got insight for you from comic expert Steve Borock. Welcome to the show. How are you? So before we talk about the tips for buying these and all of these, how'd you get into comic books?
Oh, I've been doing this since I was a little kid.
Yeah,
I mean,
just
my
a
father
love.
brought me home stuff, and I just got really heavily into it and learned how to check for restoration, learned how to grade properly, and bought and sold comic books.
Serious stuff.
Yeah, big time.
So if you were thinking about investing them, let's say somebody's just a fan at home and they've always enjoyed comic books, but they don't think of it as an investment. How could we get into it?
Well, the thing is to buy what you love and what you can afford, because nobody ever knows the future, right? So if you love it and you can afford it, you hang on to it. And if it goes up in value, you're in great shape. And if it doesn't go up in value, you're still in great shape.
You still have something that you love. Let's talk about some of what you've brought today and what
Sure.
makes some of these things a good investment. Over here is the first appearance of Black Panther.
Right. And
That is amazing.
that's in a Fantastic Four comic book. He was a side character.
What year is that from?
Oh, 1966.
Wow.
Yes.
And now this huge cultural phenomenon. So what is that worth at this point?
Oh boy, you know what? I don't deal with values. It's worth a few $1,000s for sure.
Isn't that
It's
something?
because it's not the highest grade copy. This is only a 7.5. Our scale goes up to 10.
Well, how would somebody have a 10 though? I mean, how do you know when you buy a comic book that you want to keep it in pristine condition?
Well, you keep them in boards and bags, or you send them to our company, CBCS, and we put them into the archivally safe plastic holders, and then the outer shell, which protects it. But 10s are almost impossible to find.
Right, okay. So talk about this one,
That's
Spider-Man.
the first comic book, or the only comic book, excuse me, that's ever been signed by a sitting president. That's signed by Barack Obama in
Seriously?
2014.
How did that happen?
A good friend of mine knows Senator John Tester from Montana.
Yeah.
Who's my friend's a comic book collector. They grew up together. He asked him to have President Barack Obama sign it, and Barack Obama actually dated it, so you knew it wasn't an auto signature.
Isn't that, so that's a good thing to know, right?
Yes.
To make sure that if you do have somebody sign this, it's an authentic handwritten signature.
Well, especially somebody like the president, who
Right.
always has something auto-signed.
Interesting. Okay, so you have some Wonder Woman?
Yes, there's two vintage Wonder Womans, Golden Age. Wonder Woman is very hot right now because
Yes.
the movie was explosive. It was probably the best DC movie that's ever been produced. And
Because what is her name?
Gal Gadot
was amazing.
oh yeah, I had my picture taken with her. That
Did
was
you
so
really?
Cool.
Is she
Yeah.
that absolutely perfect in
Oh
person
yeah,
as well?
and she's so sweet.
She just exudes intelligence and good humor. Anyway,
Yes.
back to the comic book.
So
I love her.
those two are very, very rare in high grade because they're from the 40s.
Wow.
And very hard to find in decent shape. And if you'll notice by the numbers, that's even higher shape than the one from 1966.
Got it. And what's this in the middle?
And this one is Walking Dead, which the TV show is very
Oh,
popular.
man.
The comic book's very, very popular. And this is the first appearance of Dagon, who's a very, very popular character.
Okay, I don't mean to be dumb, but did the comic book precede the show? Or
Yes, it did.
It did? Okay, when did this start?
Oh boy, years ago, had to be early 2000s. This is number 100, and they put out about 12 issues a year. This had a very, very small print run, so nobody thought this was going to be a big success.
Right.
So there's only about 7,000 copies of number 1 out there.
So those things are valuable.
Oh, very.
Very. Okay. What is the most popular right now?
Well, I mean, the most popular right now is everything that's being, like Black Panther, of course.
Things that are being recreated
right,
in new
at TV
forms.
shows, movies, but there's a lot of hype. So the next Ant-Man movie is already in production, so there's more hype on Ant-Man right now. And,
I'm just not as into Ant-Man. What do I need to know about it?
he shrinks.
I don't know. I don't know if I can do that or not. All
I
right,
don't think you can shrink.
I can't, but I can inflate. So
We can all.
That's a whole nother matter. So if somebody has comic books at home, they want to submit them to be graded
Sure.
in the way that you're talking about, so that they're authentically analyzed and appraised and all of that, and then can be protected. How do they go about doing that?
They can go to our website. We have a submission form online. We're here in Seattle taking submissions now. We also have, they could call in. They say if they have a large collection, if the collection is large enough and big enough, we'll fly out and we'll
Wow.
go
Take
through
a
them
look at it.
and see what it is. There's a lot of ways.
All right. Well, we'll make sure that we put that on the internet. What is the biggest surprise that you've ever seen? Somebody sent it to you and you went, holy cow, they didn't know what they had.
Well, the first Superman, which is Action Comics #1 from 1938, when it hit my grading desk, I turned to the person next to me and said, "This used to be mine." And now it says the Nicolas Cage copy on it.
Oh my
So that was
goodness.
really cool. And another one I graded had been sold to Charlie Sheen. So when that hit my desk and said Charlie Sheen copy, I was like, well, Steve Borock copy. You know?
This is very cool. Thank you so much
Oh,
for
you're
kind of giving
welcome.
us some insight, and it's fun to see these things. He is going to be accepting submissions for comic book grading over the weekend. Full event details are on New Day's website, and then you can follow it up from there. And while we're talking about comic books, today is the first day of Emerald City Comic Con, and we have a couple of guests who will be meeting and greeting fans out there, the stars of the upcoming animated film, Sherlock Gnomes, Nomeo and Juliet. Come on out. There they are. The beloved garden gnomes are back for a whole new adventure in London. Someone is kidnapping garden gnomes around the city, and the only ones who can help find them is their sworn protector, Sherlock Gnomes, and his sidekick, Watson. Sherlock Gnomes opens in theaters on March 23rd, but Nomeo and Juliet have a 4-pack of tickets for everybody here to attend a screening, so please enjoy. Super cool. Thank you. Up next, we're going to spin the wheel of New Day Hot Topics with a brand new panel. We'll be back after this. Thank you very much.
Thank you.